What's up, guys? My name is Riley. Welcome to chimicomics. Today we're going to be going through my comic book haul from a couple days ago. So I ordered these off of InStockTrades.com. They have great sales that I frequent way too often. And this book just came out, as you can tell by the title of the video. You know it's the SpiderMan by MICHELINIE and McFarlane. But so it came out at 50%, but as you know from my last video, I just ordered the Final Crisis Omnibus a week before. So InStock Trades does a thing where if you order something and then order again within a week of your first purchase, then they will give you an extra 2% loyalty discount. So that excuse me, that put me under the free shipping total because it ended up being $48. So I added in this Batman Prelude to Nightfall book. So I'm just gonna go through that real quick, show you what it's all about, because I'm excited about this book. It was like the cheapest on my wish list, so I went ahead and picked it up just to get the free shipping, because I didn't see any point in paying shipping if I'm gonna get this book sometime anyway. So Batman Prelude to Nightfall. This contains, let me see, Batman Vengeance of Bane #1, Batman 484 through 491, and Detective Comics 654 through 658. So this is the very beginning. If you don't know, DC put out 3 thick trades of Nightfall, and I have those also, but they've re-released them in these smaller trades. There'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There'll be 9 of them in total, and I wanted to get these because they'll, in my opinion, I think they'll look better on the shelf. So that's why I'm picking these up. And also, what I really hate is that they still don't include that first Azrael miniseries. I don't know why, the Sword of Azrael, because you kind of need it to figure out who he is and where he came from. And you're just going to be reading the story going like, who's this guy? Because you don't see him anywhere else. So I don't understand why they keep leaving that out. I guess it's because they want you to buy the Azrael trade. There's an Azrael Volume 1, and that's in it, along with his first miniseries. Or it might have been his main series. I think it's some of the main series. But, I mean, if you really want it, go ahead and buy it. You might still be able to find the old Sword of Azrael trade. That's what I have. But, if you can't find that, just, I don't know, maybe Google some Azrael information from that miniseries. That's a cool sketch. So yeah, that's about it with this book. It's a good story. It's I mean, don't let anybody talk you out of it. Try it for yourself, because this was one of my first stories. It's one of my first Batman epics that I read, like a long ongoing story. This thing goes on for several years, so to me it holds a special place. But you be the judge of that, because a lot of people don't like it. Some people do. It's kind of polarizing. You either love it or hate it. But I was one of the ones that loved it. Alright, so I want to go straight into this new Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus by David Michelinie and Todd McFarlane. Wyatt and I just covered Venom's origin. That was the video before last, and some of those issues are in here, which is kind of cool. I got to pick this up in physical format because we just went off of issues on my Kindle. Okay. So let me tell you what's in this thing. It's got Amazing Spider-Man 296 through 329 and material from Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 10. What I love that Marvel does with their omnibus is they have these issues on the back. Lets you know exactly what you're getting. Get the glare off there. There we go. So you get to look through and see all the covers just on the outside without opening up the book. They also have, for the most part, have this spine design that's the same. So if you have a bunch of Marvel omnis, they look pretty good on the shelf together. They got that Marvel omnibus on the top. They just look much more professional than the DC omnibus do. DC is kind of like all over the place. You never know when they're going to have a good one, when it's just going to be a dud. So this doesn't want to slip off. Just want to pull it off. Alright. So Marvel's been doing this lately, where they'll have the outside stuff the same. Oh my goodness. That's cool. So this is the reprint. This book I just got, they just put it out this past week, like I said. The first printing is what's hard to find, and this is the cover for the variant of that first printing, which is impossible to find for under like $300. So I just held off and got this new one, but I'm glad that they threw that in on the back. That's really cool. So I feel like I still kind of own it in a way. Yeah, but I like this material that Marvel's using for the covers. It's not that it's not like that Final Crisis omnibus I just bought with the black covers. If you read that for a while, you hold it, it'll rub off on your fingers. I really hate that. But like I said in my previous video, when you buy an omnibus, you really need to stretch out the spine. By just flipping through, you hear it cracking, that's a good thing. I want to let it do that, because if you don't, it's going to look like a piece of trash when you're done reading it. Nobody wants that. Got some good 90s McFarlane art. McFarlane can draw pretty well, but his writing is kind of not so good. Oh gosh, that Venom panel. I'll show you that in a minute if I can find it. Alright, so when you're done stretching, you should be able to see that keyhole where the ribbon is lifted off of the spine. That is a good thing. That's what you want. You don't want it to be stuck on there and the spine bending. You want to have the keyhole. You want to be able to see through to the other side, just like that. And I have never had trouble out of a Marvel omnibus post like 2010 production. You know, they've been on top of it. I'll turn around so you guys can see it. Good credit page. Alright, this is one of my favorite things also. You see this more in the classic omnibus, like the first 3 Amazing Spider-Man omnis. They collect all the early material from the 60s. That's set up just like this is. So that's, to me, that's pretty professional, and it's helpful to help you find where everything is. This is a weird cover. Get some Black Suit right here. This is right before the Venom arc. I'll show you the first issue of that arc that Wyatt and I just read. It's not there. Some good Doc Ock stories though. Alright, right here with Chance. Yep, so this is the arc leading into the Venom storyline. I think at the end of the issue he pops up, but he's not in it very much until the end. Like, the end of 299, he shows up, and then 300 is all about Venom, obviously, because that's labeled his first appearance. See, this is the back page, yeah, of 298, and then we'll get a whole issue, and then he'll be at the end. Yep. That is a creepy panel. Well, a whole page, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, those early sketches of Venom, they are really creepy. Mary Jane's terrified, you can see. Then you get the cool fight between Spidey and Venom. That was good too. Okay, so some Silver Sable. She is also in the Spider-Man game. If you haven't played that, I would recommend trying that out. I'm playing through that right now, and it is quite fun. Really enjoying that. Okay. Apparently Santa Claus is robbing somebody. It might be a fun Christmas special or something. Nice. Okay. Trying to get it in good lighting when I have the glare. Some more Venom. Venom comes back. Let me show you something that distinguishes McFarlane over the others before him. One is the eyes. He draws them huge. I don't know, he kind of like completely changed the look of Spider-Man just by the eyes. To me, that's like my Spider-Man, because that's all we've seen in my lifetime anyway, is this design of Spider-Man. So he kept the classic look but just improved on it, I think. Over the old Ditko stuff with the tiny eyes and the it looks like grid paper webbing. McFarlane also added what they call spaghetti webbing. It's kind of tied onto itself, and if you watch the original Sam Raimi trilogy movies, they use this kind of webbing. You don't really notice it that much, but it is. It's wrapped up on itself just like that. So that's just two things that McFarlane has contributed, and most artists have followed suit with this design. And back in the 90s, he was like, it was all about artists and not so much writers, and he was definitely leading the pack in comic book artists. Oh, there's some Magneto. What issue is this? Oh, this is an Acts of Vengeance tie-in. Yep. Makes sense. I love that. Did McFarlane actually draw this? Nope, this is Larson. I'm pretty sure he's the one that gave Venom the long tongue. Without knowing it. He didn't know that he actually came up with that, I think. But that's a good Spider-Man panel, even though it's not McFarlane. There's some Grey Hulk. Yeah. Honestly, I might try to read this pretty soon. This looks really fun. me get some extra covers here for you. Is that Batman? Well, that's crazy. Got a little bit of glue here, I think. Okay, that came out pretty easy. That'll be interesting. Okay, got some covers here. I guess they're all by McFarlane. It's looking that way. Just some nice covers. These aren't even in, like, the stories aren't even in the book, just the covers. But it's pretty cool to have these. Dazzler. Iceman. Some more Dazzler. I also like it when Spidey teams up with the X-Men. There's some good issues of him doing that. Apparently McFarlane had a hand in quite a few of them. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, they put out a trade of the story. It's like an anti-drug story. I'm interested in getting that. I think I'll get that fairly soon. Whenever I can fit it into an order like I just did with this. That's a good cover. I think this story is in the new Spidey vs. Venom Omnibus, which I will also plan on getting soon. There's those two. Alright. Oh, I love this, like, granite design also. They do that in the classic ones. Alright, so that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Got a good look at both of these books. They're both 90s books. If you can't tell, I love the 90s. 90s comics, they're one of my favorites. Just leave a like if you enjoyed. Really appreciate it. Drop me a comment, whatever you want to ask me or tell me about one of these books or comics from the 90s in general. Subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be bringing out stuff like this quite frequently. Yeah, so have a good day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.